YouTube, what goes on? And welcome back to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you toy episode number 443. We're in the friendly confines of the Cedar Crest, Lehigh Valley, Allentown Target parking lot, looking for some new stuff, looking for deals, looking for clearances. We'll be some big box stores, some Rosses, some Ollies. Who knows where else we'll check in this video. Also, we are on the road to RetroCon 2025 in Oaks, PA. Very excited for RetroCon this year. We'll be heading there this weekend. It's Friday as I speak. I will probably include some hunt footage from the way physically down there on Saturday, maybe on the way home Saturday night or on Sunday. We're going to see how it goes. All the RetroCon footage will be in its own video. But before we get into that, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you, does not cost you anything, and helps us grow the channel tremendously in the march to 8,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications, because that way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content here to the channel, like weekly toys, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. For daily toy content and daily toy updates, check us out over at Instagram at Disavowed_12. Let's see what they have inside. All right, so the aisle was pretty loud, so I put music over the top because I didn't want to narrate. And you know I made a little sound to myself when I saw this for $11.99. That is wild. I've only seen one of these out in the wild before, this regular version of this thing. And I hooked up Toy Gains with it for retail price. So pretty pumped to get this for $11.99. That's a freaking steal. Other than that, here's the redone collectible section. Looks like we have some SNL 50 pops going on. What am I doing looking at pops? I don't look at pops. Although that Daredevil and Punisher one looks pretty good. Oh, Bullseye. All right, so yeah, we're not getting into that. We're not doing that to ourselves. But other than that, looks like mostly older stuff. Nothing that's really brandy new. Haven't seen that Freddy in a while. Maybe that's restocking something old. But I think we're done here. Here's Casey Jones 2-pack. I think we're done. We're going to grab this and go to another location. Don't know where it's going to be. Very random, because I'm going to throw in some footage, I think, from the road to and from RetroCon. But yeah, winning right there. Well, look what we found. We found a Ross exclusive Superman. So Superman from Hush. Also a regular Superman right there, I guess from the movie. Looks like some other ones hanging back here too. I think it's just these two. So I can make some arrangements here. See, it looks just to be these. Huh. All right, well, that's certainly something to see those here. McFarlane done did it. He did a Ross exclusive. Good for him. Other than that, this stuff I get sick of seeing all the time. But yeah, let's keep looking around, see what we can find. Back at Ollie's on Tillman Street, and cards on the table. We might be here twice in this video. I know I say I'm not going to do that, and then I do it anyway. But I'm going to check it now. If they don't have anything, probably on the way to RetroCon tomorrow morning. We'll hop off real quick and check if it's right off the PA Turnpike, which is what we're taking to get that direction. So let's see if they have anything here. Unfortunately, all I'm seeing are What If, Eternals, and Black Panther. So, yeah, still not here. I guess we might check back in the morning. I'm not going to film everything here because it's all just going to be the same stuff as always. So, I'll check maybe in the morning. I'll try to film again on the way if we stop. And if there's nothing here, maybe I'll just give you a heads up that I saw nothing and we checked anyway. Ross over on Lehigh Street here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley area. Looking actually kind of surprisingly empty here in the parking lot. So, I doubt we'll find anything, but if we do, maybe there won't be a long line and we have to wait in to buy it. This could be a win, could be a loss. You just don't know unless you go and check your Ross. All right, so front section first, because there's no line. We have a few of these laying in here. We've seen those before. Looks like we have some Star Wars 3 3/4, so K2SO, another K2SO, some little basic Spider-Man stuff. So nothing really striking me here is something I need. Let's go check the back peg section. And I'm already seeing that McFarlane Spider-Man, sorry, Superman hanging here. So again, we saw it in the previous store earlier, $12.99. Not seeing much else though, and the toy area is kind of jammed. I'll try to sneak in there, see if there's anything, but I don't want to get anybody's way or anything. So it looks like just these kind of dumpy looking turtles. We've seen a few of those the last couple of weeks, $9.99. And this freaking guy who I just can't anymore. I can't. Beetlejuice, just don't let me see it anymore. All right, so we went to that Ross on Lehigh Street and Ollie's on Tillman. There was nothing there from last evening. Saturday morning, we are on our way to RetroCon in Oaks, PA, by route of Route 100 instead of the Turnpike. So we are passing literally right off the highway. Beckelsville, this is the Walmart earlier in the summer. I saw that glorious, glorious big toy display that eventually made its way to the home base Walmart as well. So gonna see if there's anything left on there out of curiosity. Might hit a couple more stores, but this is where I get myself in trouble because we want to get to the toy show. We have tickets for it, but yet every time I pass the store, I gotta stop. So 8 Tizzle's in the car with me, so she'll keep me on a short leash or hopefully not stopping too many places. But when it's right off the highway, you can't pass it. So okay, 48 seconds of talking about this, my bad. Let's see what they have in Walmart here, Beckelsville. So this Walmart tends to be a rock star when it comes to clearance. So I'm only here a few times a year, if that. So I always try to check the clearance section, see what they have. So we have NECA down to 35, not too crazy, 25 for that one. Not seeing a lot of figures. There's some basic stuff, some Sonic stuff. So yeah, nothing jumping out at me, stuff I need. A lot of dolls, Barbie stuff. So it's definitely worth checking clearance if you're ever in this store because they could have really anything back here. All right, so main aisle, pretty well stocked with wrestling. They did drop both the Kenny Omega and the Ricky Saints down to $12 here on clearance. John Moxley's on clearance down to $24.99. So again, this store does a good job getting stuff off the pegs instead of letting it just sit around forever and collect dust. I saw these clearance stickers and got excited, but unfortunately it's not for these. Again, I already have Banshee. I would maybe pick him up for like $12. I don't know. I'd think about it. But other than that, let's see, down this direction, not too much going on. Looks like they still do have the giant toy display out, which is cool. So that's hasn't gone anywhere yet. So we'll see what's left over there. And then just back behind, we did have some Simpsons stuff, some Street Fighter. Nothing really new, just kind of older stuff. But again, good to see it. So let's go see what the display still has left on it. This was so cool the first time I saw it, and it's still equally cool to see it now. All right, so up close and personal, again here at the G.I. Joe stuff. Love seeing this. Marvel Legends. Spark your collection. Collect. But yeah, it's still pretty well stocked here. They just still do have plenty of the Spirit Spiders. They have a whole 4 rack there going on with Sandman. They have still J. Jonah, the Fireman, the vehicles for $75. Still plenty of Transformers. So again, this section is still very well stocked here. Omega Red's down there still. And check it out, they even have the Century pack. I never saw this at my local, my home base. So killed the head sculpts here. Problem is, I don't think many people really wanted these as toys. So pretty cool. Century, if I found them cheap somewhere, I'd consider it. But let's check the other side. Also, yeah, there's Rhino too. Plenty of rhinos. Oh, 2 rhinos. So when I was here for this one, there wasn't much on this side originally. Now they do have the wrestling out. So there's Hulk Hogan. There's the Great Muta. I don't think I've seen this one before. Some He-Man, Motu stuff. Down below, some more crossover stuff. So yeah, well stocked. All right, so Ross, and I think it's technically Pottstown. There's a Target over there. There's a Burlington. There's a TJ Maxx. I'm not going in any of those. We're just doing Ross, hitting the alleys and going to the toy show. We are on a clock, people. Could be a win, could be a loss. Let's see what happens. All right, so right out of the gate, check this out. That's pretty cool. They $2.99. Yep, I'm getting both of these because I don't have them. Let's grab those. There's like somebody like right next to me. So the unfortunate thing is, since both of these were here, there probably was a Chase Billy gun. So too bad I didn't get the Chase Billy gun, but always wanted these in my collection, not for full price. So for $2.99, that's a deal, that's a steal. We're grabbing those. Other than that, what else we got laying here? Keep those in my sight, right? Star Wars, we saw that guy earlier in this video, I'm pretty sure. Older Iron Man. There's that Atreus we see all the time as well, and Easton. So other than that, I think that's about it for here. We'll keep looking. If I see something else, I'll show you. But yeah, there's the weird eyes on Leonardo. But let's keep looking. But this is the win. Cross-sell. All right, so I don't have a plastic bag because they said to get one it would cost me 10 cents. So not complaining, didn't need it. Just saying it's the first time at a Ross I've heard that. So let me know in the comments. Has your Ross instituted that policy, or is it just this one randomly doing it? So whatever, didn't need it, but just thought I'd put it out there in the ether. It's now a thing, at least here in Pottstown. The acclaimed has arrived. Ollie's, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, about 4-minute drive up the highway, depending on traffic from that Ross we were just at. Had moderate success here finding some stuff a couple of years ago. No expectations considering there's a toy show nearby, but kind of hoping people were going to come here afterwards. That's why I came here first. So I'm kind of on overload because there's just stuff everywhere in this Ollie's. Like, there's just stuff stacked throughout the aisles. So here are all of your typical Dungeons and Dragons. They tend to be in most Ollie's. We have some wrestling down this direction. I see a Batista. So I'm looking for Marvel Legends Luke Cage. Also, the Hand Ninja has been hitting with the skull. So some new stuff has been hitting stores that people are finding. I'm not seeing any of it here. So I'm going to keep looking around. Very loud copyrighted music back behind me. So got to talk over and not film. So I'm going to run through the store and do a quick speed hunt here. Not show you every single little thing. If I find something good, I'll turn the camera back on. If I don't find something good, then I'll probably show you a clip from RetroCon. And then the rest of that will be its own separate video. And we'll kind of go from there. All right. And every year when I walk in here, I kind of just have to gasp at the size and scale of this friggin' show. It is gigantic. There's no possible way I can show you everything in this show. It's not in the cards. I'm just going to pick out some different things. I'll try to show you some retro vintage stuff. I'll try to show you some things I collect. Try to show you some different newer things. Any good deals I might find. Maybe some art stuff. I don't know. It's every year. It's just mind-boggling the amount of stuff between between toys to look at, and then also cosplay, everything else. I see a Galactus already. Every year, the same Galactus, same place. Hanging out, waiting to be purchased. So it is the day after RetroCon. What a great time. That video will be after this video later in the week. It is 9:03 a.m. We are at Ross. I'm a rope dropping Ross. I've never done that before that I can recall. So literally just open at 9 o'clock. So let's see if I find anything interesting that I wouldn't find later in the day, or if I just wasted my time driving here. Again, Sunday morning. All right, so you may find it interesting or not, I don't know, but I never bought a Keith Lee. He hasn't been on wrestling in a very long time. He's had some sort of sickness or illness or something, injury. But I'll get that for $2.99 and build up the AW shelf. So again, I was actually at the debut. I think it was in Baltimore. I can't remember what city. It was in Atlantic City maybe, with Six Packs Knickknacks, when he actually debuted for the company, and it was awesome. So even though his effect on the company was kind of short-lived because he was tag champion, I'll take this. Also, that McFarlane Superman here, I can care less about that. But yeah, I'll take that as a good find. May have been here later in the day, I don't know. But Dragon Ball, Godzilla stuff's all still here. But let's look around. So as I drive to the next Ross, I realize I am a moron. I've collected AW for a long time. Right there, Atlantic City, February 9th, 2022. Dynamite, Keith Lee. So I'm guessing that was his debut that we were at in AC. It was a good show. 9:21 a.m. and I'm thinking they may not be open until 9:30. Looking at the windows being shuttered here, so let's go take a look and see. Because if that's the case, we'll hang out for the 9 minutes. Cost me 9 minutes to get into the next Ross, but what are you going to do? Cost of doing business when you're driving around Lehigh Valley. And it looks like Sunday is 9:30, so we'll hang out and wait for a couple minutes. All right, so literally just open the doors. Literally rope dropped Ross. I didn't check the front yet. A bunch of the Supermans are still here. I have no interest in those, as I said in the previous clip. Not seeing anything else here laying around besides what we won't talk about. And unfortunately on the back wall, it's all the same stuff that's usually here. So it looked like rope dropping at Ross may not make that big of a difference. Maybe like during the day, they'll stock more stuff. I don't know. Leave in the comments below if you know how the stocking process works at a Ross, because I'm not seeing anything new first thing in the morning. I was always told, go there first thing. Well, nothing here. 9:53 a.m. So you can see this Ross is a little further out of the way. I've mentioned that before. So coming to this one, and again, there's no traffic. It's a Sunday morning, so it's still a little further of a drive. We'll see what goes on here. Probably go to Target and Ollie's and get out of here. If I repeated a bunch of stores in this video, sorry. Just kind of was all over the place with RetroCon being yesterday. So, okay, let's go. It's not even 10 o'clock and the alarm's already going off at Ross. What does that tell you? So, front of the store, all the same stuff I've been seeing each time I come here. These are all still here. Nobody wants those apparently. The car's thrown in here. That's still here. Yeah, so not looking very hopeful here. We'll check the back of the store in a minute. So the lesson I take away from this is that in my area, it doesn't make sense to rope drop a Ross, at least not on a Sunday morning. So when you do see my video from RetroCon, there was somebody who had an entire turtle booth who was selling these for like $25, and they're $10 here. So I don't know if he's had them since they originally came out, or if he bought them here for a quick flip. One way or the other, I have no issue with that. Just pointing out that you could find that at a Ross right now. So if you see it more expensive, I'd hold off, because I'm seeing it in almost all Rosses at this point, and nobody's buying them here. So, but that's my area. There's another one here. So, okay, I think we're done here. Let's get out of here and go hit another store, see what else we could find. Rolling into Target here, over on Crocs Road. Maybe we'll see some new Street Fighter, some discounted stuff. I don't know. Let's see if they have. So I feel like this toy aisle hasn't really changed in months. I feel like whenever I come to Crocs Road Target, it's the exact same stuff just sitting here. You know, maybe minus a couple firemen, or, you know, plus a couple of Motu, but there's really not a lot of changes, I feel like, in this aisle. There's the Punisher. I guess that's a new. Introducing Damage. There's the comic cover from War Journal. It's a great Marvel Legend that from that 2-pack from last year, I think it was, or whatever, a couple of years ago. So, all right, let's check wrestling side and then check over at the collectibles. Wrestling side, similar, lots of older stuff. Great Muta, Billy Gunn, Undertaker, Big Evil, more Muta. Spider-Man on the wrong side, we got Danny Garcia, Darby, Bryan, Red Velvet still sitting there forever, that Red Velvet. Those Orange Cassidys really did dry up here quickly. There might be one shoved in the collectible section still. Where are the new waves of The Simpsons at, Target? GameStop's been getting them. You haven't been. It's weird. There's a Lisa hanging out, little Lisa. And then down here, Jurassic Jester section. Shout out to the Jesser. Hope he's doing well. Big old dinos down below. Some sale stickers on those dinos. And it looks like their collector's end cap is completely gone. So we're back to just basically the main aisles, and then this back here. I'm not seeing any Street Fighter unless I'm missing it. Still got Krusty dolls stacking up down below. DC Multiverse. I don't see that Orange Cassidy laying around back here anymore. Somebody must have picked it up. Pops, 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 pops. So I'm gonna get through those quickly. And then down here, all the Ben Coopers you could ever want or need. Some stands. So nothing really new jumping. Oh, here's Saw. I think that might be new. Oh, Terrifier. Okay. Now that would be a cool one to buy. So I know people who did collect these didn't like when they started making, I should say some people didn't like when they started making modern franchises who didn't have the actual Ben Cooper costumes, but that's actually pretty friggin' cool right there. There's a bunch of them, little Art the Clowns. And what is this guy? I've never seen this, I don't think. This is Island. I don't even know what this is. What is this? I don't know this property, so I don't know everything, of course. The supreme excitement of our time, the Island. This Island Earth. Okay, well, that's new for me. I've never seen this thing before. Very interesting monster right there. I'm not going to buy it, but all right, well, found some new stuff. Set up bird hanging out. Fun. So back at Ollie's on Tillman, probably for like the 15th time this video. I think we'll go to the home base Walmart after this, and we'll sign off from there. So one word comes to mind walking through this aisle. Dud. Another dud at Ollie's. Nothing here. Nothing here. Well, nothing new here. And to close things out, let's take a dip here into the home base Walmart, see what's left on our giant Walmart display. This might be the first time I put both in one video. So 2 of those awesome Walmart action figure displays in one video, 2 different stores. Let's do it. All right, so in terms of wrestling, we do have an Eric Bischoff sitting here. That's actually tempting, but again, I just don't do the wrestling as much. So yeah, older Eric Bischoff, kind of neat. There's your cross cell in the back of who's in the wave. It also looks like we have our Undertaker that is sitting here. So that's for the Build-A-Figure Michael Cole. And it looks like they're the only 2. We have Build-A-Figure Ted DiBiase for the Monday Night Wars with a great mood. I think we've seen that already. Wrestling, these are all older ones, I think. Some of those are new. And then, yeah, Dirty Doms. So that's all we have for that particular wave. AEW, looks like we have a Cope and a Christian side by side. They'll be tagging together and all out. Down this way, some more wrestling. Lex Luger's still chilling here, probably at full price, unfortunately. Marvel Legends, pretty empty here. We'll see what they have in the display. And then down this direction, Star Wars. Your typical stuff, still dropping in price. Got that Wookiee down at 12. And in terms of what's left here on the display, pretty well stocked still. So we have all the J. Jonahs. I'm seeing people already getting the Rhino and the Omega Reds on clearance prices. Kind of hoping I might get this on a clearance price down the road because there's 4 of them there. Thunderbolts, 3 of those. Still plenty of the Spirit Spiders. But I think we're going to call it a hunt. So thanks for watching. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you. It does not cost you anything. And helps us grow the channel tremendously on the march to 8,000 subscribers. While you're at it, go ahead and click that bell for notifications, because that way YouTube should notify and tell you when we post new content here to the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, try checking us out for Instagram at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 Ps of the toy hunt: patience, persistence, most of all politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.